Hello everyone. So after the philosophy lectures, we're going to see now source development model. Okay, so we have covered the software freedom and philosophy 2 points, but so open source this we're going to see today. Okay, open source, open source. Okay, open source development model. Model. Okay, let me do first. Keep in center. Okay, now let me finish. So open source development model in this. What happened? Exam may ask us to describe the open source development model. So open source development model is a process similar to software. Okay, it is a process which is similar to software. You know now what is the meaning of software and all. Okay, it's a process which is similar to software. Okay, similar to okay. Whose source code is available to everyone or publicly. Here also source code is available for publicly. Okay, whose source code available for publicly. Okay. Okay. So this is publicly available for this source code. Okay, so open source development is a process similar to software whose source code is available to everyone or publicly. Available for everyone and publicly. See, this software is under the open source license. So we can use this for study. Means the software is under a open source license. So we can use this for study also source code and for study, and also source code is available for change and improve its design. Means with the help of this source code you can improve its design and you can use for study also. Example of famous open source product are example of famous open source product are open source product that is Mozilla Firefox. First one is Mozilla Firefox. Okay, then Google Chrome. Then an Apache Open Office. Apache Open. This is also one type of famous product which used in open source development model. Okay, Apache Open Office. Okay, so open source development model is process which is similar to software. Then the source code available for here. This source code is available for everyone, and any student can study with the help of this source code. They can develop their own view. That some example of this famous open source product are that is the Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, and Apache Open Office Suite. Okay, so creation of open source software development is large part of World Wide Web. Means creation of software development is large part of innovative World Wide Web. So open source software development can be divided into many phases. So this software that like this open source open source software can be divided divide into many phases. Into many phases like initialization, initialization, then and execution. So ये जो भी आपको note I am mentioning here, so you can use as a notes also, and जो भी मैं concept आपको बताती हूँ this plus, okay. So here what initialization phase. In initialization, yeah, in many phases. So you can mention like initialization phase, like and execution phase. Okay, so in initialization, in the phase of initialization problem discovery, finding voluntary and solution identification can be done. So in the phase of initialization, problem discovery and finding voluntary and solution identification can be done. In problem discovery, okay, problem description will be defined. So here what happens in initialization phase, what happened here? Problem discovery, problem discovery and, and find voluntary can be done, and finding voluntary and solution identification can be done. Okay, in the initialization phase, problem discovery, then you can say finding voluntary voluntaries and solution identification. Identification can be done. Okay, so we know that some example open source products, that is a Mozilla and this all. Okay, then initialization phase problem. Let me do this in Redmi. You can get it. Okay, so here what happened in this some phases are there, right? So first is that you can see that execution and initialization phase, right? So in initialization phase, problem discovery, finding voluntaries, and solution identification can be done. So in problem discovery, so here in problem discovery, what will let's given me. So in problem discovery, what happened here? Problem description will be defined. Means the description of problem will be defined. Problem description. Okay, here define the problem description. Okay. Okay, and it describe the problem and related information about problem. Means what? ये क्या करता है यहाँ पे? It describe You also use this like this notes. Okay, आप ऐसे notes refer कर सकते हो इसको. Okay, this it describes the problem. मतलब कि यहाँ पे कुछ phases है like initialization and what दिस वन फेज. सो ये फेज क्या करती है, दो टाइप की फेज ओपन शो करती है लाइक इनिशियलाइजेशन एंड एग्जीक्यूशन, राइट. तो फिर उस एग्जीक्यूशन और इनिशियलाइजेशन फेज में टू टाइप्स है. that is initialization phase is come means in this problem discovery finding vulnerabilities and solution identification can be done. So in problem discovery description will be defined, yeah, and this problem description it describe the problem and related describe the problem and related information about problem. मतलब क्या problem है उसकी क्या related information, उसकी क्या related information है. Okay, related information about problem is described about the problem. Okay, about the problem. Okay, so then this describe initialization phase. Okay, now next is what finding volunteers. Let's see what the work of this. Okay, let me change this color first. Okay, here volunteers can be defined by development team. ये किससे finding होती है, development team से, you know, volunteers and all, right. So ये finding by development team. मतलब development team में से कोई ऐसे volunteers find किया जाएगा. Okay, development team. Okay, then work plan is about what? Here work plan is about, maybe आप समझ चुके होंगे last one remaining, right? It's about the solution identification. Means work plan is about the solution identification. Okay, so देखिए यहाँ पे हमने क्या देखा. So these are the some phases are there in open source product. So so in this initialization phase here, problem discovery, finding vulnerability and solution identification can be done. So in problem discovery, problem description will be defined. It describe the problem. Means यहाँ पे जो problem discovery है वो क्या describe करती है, problem और इससे related information. Then volunteers can be finding by development team. जो उनकी development team होगी उसमें से वो volunteer finds करेंगे. And work plan is about the solution identification. मतलब पर्टिकुलर कुछ प्रोजेक्ट है उस पर कैसे प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए, मतलब कौन सा सिस्टम मीन्स वर्क प्लान, राइट. मतलब आप प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हो तो उसमें कुछ फेजेस होती है लाइक इनिशियल फेज, मतलब उसकी डिजाइनिंग कौन करेगा, उस पर कोडिंग कौन करेगा, देन उस पर प्रॉपर टेस्ट, उस कोडिंग और डिजाइन को टेस्ट कौन करेगा, टेस्टिंग कौन करेगा उसकी, और उस सबको कंबाइन कौन करेगा. इस टाइप का कुछ सॉल्यूशन आइडेंटिफिकेशन में वी कैन सी वर्क प्लान इज अबाउट द सॉल्यूशन आइडेंटिफिकेशन. सो इसमें 3 पॉइंट्स थे जो हम लोग इनिशियलाइजेशन फेज में जो हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे स्टडी किया है. ओके, अब वॉलंटियर्स कैन बी फाइंडिंग बाय डेवलपमेंट टीम. अब डेवलपमेंट टीम से क्यों फाइंड किया इस वॉलंटियर्स को, मतलब कोई कुछ जो पीपल्स हो गए या कुछ एम्प्लॉयज या कुछ डेवलपर्स, जो भी आप बोल सकते हो, वो बंदे सम डिजाइनिंग पर्पस के लिए हो गए, मतलब वो डिजाइनिंग पे फोकस करेंगे. कुछ बंदे या कुछ डेवलपर्स टीम में से कोडिंग के लिए होगी, उस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, कुछ टेस्टिंग के लिए. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड हियर वॉलंटियर्स कैन बी फाइंडिंग बाय डेवलपमेंट टीम. ओके, सो आफ्टर दिस execution phase. Okay, so let me change color here. No, black here. Okay, so in this phase code development and testing code change. So मैंने अभी आपको जो वही कहा ना, यही execution phase में क्या होता है. I'm writing because after writing this you can mention as a notes also, right, in exam. In in this phase मतलब एग्जीक्यूशन में क्या होता है कोड डेवलपमेंट टेस्टिंग कोड चेंज रिव्यू एंड देन कोड कमिट एंड डॉक्यूमेंटेशन विल बी डन मतलब इसमें डॉक्यूमेंटेशन कोडिंग सब सारा प्रोग्राम मैक्सिमम या ऑलमोस्ट डन हो जाता है ओके सो हियर लेट मी राइट फर्स्ट दिस ऑल in this and testing code change okay and so see this so I said already in course what in execution phase in this phase code development and testing code change and change review and documentation will be done मतलब अगर उनको ऐसा लगता है कि आप कुछ something changes we have to do या testing में कुछ errors होगा है then finally वो सब solve होने के बाद वो execution phase में enter होता है and then documentation सब over मतलब easily means project ready होने के बाद उसका documentation होता है okay in theoretical way okay so here इसलिए हमने कहा है execution phase in this phase code development and testing code change review and documentation will be done so these are the your yes previous point which हम लोगों ने जो previous lection में हमने philosophy देखा था उसमें हमने philosophy means what the authors बहुत सारे authors discussion करते like हम लोगों ने two type model देखा था cathode and bazaar model right कैसे वो बबलिंग करते हैं ऑथर्स एंड कैथोड मॉडल में क्या था उसके कुछ उसने इंडिकेट रूल्स किए थे बाजार मॉडल में कैसे हमने इम्प्रूवमेंट्स देखी थी राइट देन फिर हम लोगों ने सॉफ्टवेयर फ्रीडम्स देखे थे कैसे मतलब हर एक सॉफ्टवेयर फ्रीडम मींस व्हाट लाइक यू पर्सन यू स्टूडेंट आल्सो कैन जस्ट 1 minute okay you student also can solve use the any software right लाइक टर्बोसी एंड ऑल जैसे कि जो हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था प्रीवियस लेक्चर में देन वहाँ पे एक ओपन सोर्स डेवलपमेंट मॉडल भी था वो पॉइंट बट वो वहाँ पे कवर नहीं हो पाया सो हमने यहाँ पे उसका डिस्कशन किया राइट देन ओपन सोर्स इट इज नथिंग बट इट इज अ प्रोसेस विच सिमिलर टू सॉफ्टवेयर लाइक इट्स लाइक सॉफ्टवेयर देन सोर्स कोड अवेलेबल पब्लिकली एंड एवरीवन कैन यूज इट राइट so here example like Mozilla and Google Chrome, Apache Open Office Suite. Line open source software can be divided into many phases like so हम लोगों ने दो phase देखी first initialization and so these two phase तो इन two phase में हमने देखा कि initialize phase में problem discovery, finding, volunteering and solution identification can be done. So finding what problem discovery क्या करती है मतलब वो problem को discover करती है related to information किस information में problem या error से उसको discovery करने का काम करती है. Volunteers is selected by development team, right? Then हमने देखा work plan is about solution identification. Then we have seen हम लोगों ने देखा कि execution phase मतलब in this phase what happen code development and testing code change review and documentation will be done after this all. Okay, so after this let's move on license. The next point is that is license. Okay, license. Okay, so let's see this point here. Just 1 minute. License. What is license? When you provide a license, you are giving someone particular rights to something you own. मतलब if you are using okay, what is sorry some net issues there. So, okay, now fine. So what is license? If in exam में आ सकता है what is license? So license means what? जैसे कि आपको कोई सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करने का ऑथोरिटी है या आपको राइट्स है, right? When you provide license, you are giving some one particular rights to something you own. First, you need to own something before you have anything licensed to other, right? You are licensing your copyrights. Copyright is automatic as soon as someone wires or draw something original, right? It only covers that particular expression and derivation words. It does not cover functionality or ideas, right? आप जो भी वर्क कर रहे हो या जो भी सोर्स कोड से या जो भी हम लोग यूज करते हैं या मैंने अभी आपको ओपन सोर्स और क्लोज सोर्स में समझाया था कि कैसे ऑथोरिटी होती है और किस में ऑथोरिटी नहीं होती है। लाइक इज लाइसेंस जिसमें हम लोगों को वर्क करने का यूज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हम उसके आइडिया नहीं हाई कर सकते। हर एक के आइडिया अकॉर्डिंग उनकी व्यू और उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट से चेंज होते रहते हैं, राइट? सो व्हाट इज लाइसेंस हियर? ओपन सोर्स लाइसेंस it is a type of license here means एक open source license बोल सकते हैं आप, that is open source license. Let me write source first. Open source license. Okay, so it is a type of license for computer software. It is a type of license. Type of license. Why I'm writing here? Because आपको अच्छे से समझ में आया and you can use for as a notes also. You can refer as notes also. So sometime I'm writing also for you, like I'm giving like notes here. So it is a type of license for computer software. You can say open source ये एक type का license है किसके लिए? computer software. Okay, you know very well now computer में बहुत से softwares use होते हैं, right? So so some computer software and other products that grants the source code, blueprint, and designed to modify, use, and share under of some defined terms and conditions, right? So this gives permission to end user to modify. Means this open source license can give some permission to end user to modify or review the source code, design or blueprint for their own. So here what happens, the end user जो user होगा, right, उसको कुछ authority दी गई है, मतलब उसको permission दी गई है कि yes, if you want you can modify my code, you can change it, you can redesign it, right? You can review my source code and you can study this source code and you can develop by your own. So like this कुछ license, इस license में some authority दी गई है to the end user. Okay, I hope कि आपको open source license समझा होगा. So the license is mostly available free of cost. मतलब this type of license is mostly available free of cost. Okay, this license is available free of cost. This license gives grant only non-commercial redistribution or modification of the source code for personal use only or not traditionally open source license. In personal use also you can use it. Open source license mainly based or focus on the availability of source code and availability to share and modify it. Free software license mainly based on the user freedoms. So here open source license here, this open source license so I would have this open. Okay, this license is a license mainly based or focus on is mainly base and focus on where what happened, sorry, focuses on मतलब कितने अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ सोर्स कोड, मतलब कितना ये सोर्स कोड कितना अवेलेबल है टू यूज, ये इस पे फोकस करता है, राइट? source code, and the ability to share and modify it, and ability, sorry, and ability to share and modify I will explain you. Let me write first is complete. Modify it. Okay, so this is the open source license. Okay, which and here one more is there, that is okay, like open source here free software license also there. Okay, free software license. Okay, it's mainly based on the user freedom. Okay, I hope कि आपको दोनों में फर्क समझ में आया होगा, right? Here users freedom पे focus होता है और वहाँ पे source codes and what source code modify and ability to share and modify में focus होता है. यहाँ पे user freedoms to use the program. Okay, so free software and open source license में आपको I hope कि समझ में आया क्या difference है. That's why I'm writing for you here like this. मतलब आपको easily समझ में आए. You can mug up easily. Okay, to share it and to modify. So अभी हम लोगों ने लाइसेंस देखा. मतलब व्हाट इज लाइसेंस? लाइसेंस इज नथिंग बट व्हेन यू प्रोवाइड अ लाइसेंस यू आर गिविंग one particular rights to something you own, right? So you are licensing your copyright. Copyright is automatically as soon as someone rights to draw something original, right? It does not cover functionality or ideas. So here open source license is there. So it is a type of license for computer software product, and that grants a source code, blueprint and design, use and share under some defined terms and conditions, right? So the gives permission to end user to modify or review the source code, design or blueprint for their own customization needs. So this license is mostly available free of cost, right? So open source license is mainly based on focus. It's mainly focus on what? Availability of source code and availability to share and modify. But in free software license, what happen here mainly is based on users' freedoms to use the program, to share it and to modify it. Okay, then here's some popular license also there. Let's see. First, let's see the popular license. Okay, popular license. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, this popular license, some popular license also there. So the following OS approved the license are popular that are widely used. So these are the some popular license are there, which I will show you. Okay. This popular license. Okay, this first one is what? Apache license. Apache. You just note down that is a कौन सी popular license. Okay. So जब हम लोगों का एग्जाम आगे इसकी डिटेल्स आती तो we will see, but you have to know that license what is the मतलब the following popular license, the following OSI approved license are popular that are OSI ने approve किया ये license को, that is the Apache license version 2.0 license. Okay, version 2.0. Then I can say that GNU library, or you can say user, general public wages, general public license. That is LGPL. LGPL. So just put this general public license. Okay, so this also is the popular license. Then Mozilla public license. Mozilla public license. This version also 2.0. And then ILT's public license, Common Development Distribution License, Common Development and Distribution License. Okay. Okay. So these are some license, popular license, and open source and free source license. I tell you what the meaning of open source and this. Okay. So some pattern also there. Then let's discuss this pattern. Okay. Let's discuss the pattern. What is the Apache pattern? Let's see first. Next point is about pattern. Okay, let me do like this, means you will get better. Okay, pattern. These are the new points here. So in pattern to cover functionality pattern, rights can also be licensed. Your copyright does not protect you from independently development implementation, but patents might. मतलब कुछ patents होना चाहिए किसी चीज का, right? There are those who think software patents should not exist. The industry should rely copyrights alone. Patent is a set of exclusive rights granted by state to an you can say assigning for a limited periods of time in exchange or details public disclosure of invention. Invention is a solution to specific technology problem, and it is product or process pattern are from the intellectual properties. The word pattern origins from the मतलब जो ये patterns word है ये origins ये develop हुई है from the this pattern Peter sorry, which means this origin by this, which means to lay open, which means to lay open. Now what is this mean, right? That is to make available for public, to make this means okay available for public inspection, public inspection. Okay, now more directly, it is used shorted version of the latest pattern, which was royal decrees, grantly execution rights to the person. Then similar grants includes the lands pattern, which were created by early state government in the USA. and printing patterns, modern copyrights. In the modern usage, term pattern usually refer to rights granted to anyone who invent any new, useful, non-obvious process, machine, architecture, yeah, article of manufacturing or composition of matter. Some other types of intellectual properties rights are also called patterns. In some industrial design rights are called design pattern. In the USA, plant breeders' rights are sometimes called the plant patterns and utility models are sometimes called the PT patterns. मतलब यहाँ पे जो भी some organization ने कुछ भी use किया like what industrial design rights, some industrial design rights किया उसने क्या कहा उसको design pattern use किया नाम दिया, then which is in USA, right? And plant breeders rights are sometimes called plant patterns. Okay, मतलब जो भी जिसने भी डिजाइन किया किसी पर्पस के लिए उसने वहाँ उस पे इंक्लूड किया पैटर्न्स नेम. It's nothing but it is what it's make available for public inspection, right? That's it. Okay, so today's session is over here. I hope let's stop here. Thank you.